My delightful friends, another beautiful day in paradise, just enjoying life. It is very hot in my house because I live in like a freaking greenhouse, so I apologize if my face gets all red and I get flushed and stuff like that. But I wanted to hop on here because I got another video for you guys. And this one's pretty interesting, and I think it's it's sneaky. It's very underappreciated, very underlooked. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the importance and the significance of the meme. What is a meme? Well, other than making your friends laugh with the great meme war that we have going on in 2020, I want to look at the idea of how the meme has a lot of power and how it has a lot of power to do good and a lot of power to do bad. Now, what is this meme that I'm talking about? Well, let's talk about the history of the meme, because interestingly, because I just learned about this a couple weeks ago, and as far as I know, not a lot of people know about what a meme is. So the word meme originally came from the book The Selfish Gene, which is written by a famous, I guess he's a scientist. I think he's a scientist. He's just like a scientist philosopher, but he's a pretty prolific writer, by a guy named Richard Dawkins. And this was actually written in 1976. And it essentially means a unit of cultural transmission. So in the 70s, you had different ideas of, maybe more freedom and stuff like that. From the 60s and the 70s, you had a lot of this free love and stuff going on at that time. And so I think what's happened now is that our ideas of memes have transferred to a digital age, so that the way that a meme spreads is primarily through the internet. Now, I'm assuming most of my viewers probably already know that, but for those of you who don't know what this means, there are different images online that have an inside joke to them. So you'll see a picture and there is a significance and an understanding of an inside meme, but a significance and an understanding to that joke. So if I show you a picture, you'll understand what that picture means, and then you'll understand the context of the writing within that respective picture. So and there's different websites you can understand with memes and stuff like that. But I'm not necessarily talking about images per se. I'm more talking about phrases and expressions that are propagated throughout media and throughout mainstream media and through lots of these social media platforms, primarily Instagram and Twitter. Now, I'm noticing that what memes do is they have a tendency and an ability to affect the normal vernacular. So if that meme or that little clip, that idea is repeated enough, and we know this through how programming the subconscious works, that through spatial repetition, if you see it enough, through hearing it, through saying it, through writing it, you start to actually believe it, right? So you have to be very careful with these ideas of memes, because there's one meme that really irks me. It really disturbs me, and I really don't like how people are laughing about it or kind of making light of it or kind of making a joke of it, because they don't know that what they're doing is they're actually starting to believe it. And this meme is hashtag or whatever, new normal. This is very dangerous. And it's very subtly dangerous. And the reason is because people are actually starting to normalize something that is completely abnormal. This has never happened before in the history of the world. Like, a complete global lockdown has never happened before in the world. And I've seen this all over social media, but especially that's propagated through mainstream media. It's this whole idea of the new normal. And the fact is that if you continually say new normal, you are normalizing something that's abnormal. And it's very interesting that the more you wake up to what's going on in the world, the more you wake up to all the crap that's going on in the world, the more you realize that our idea of normalcy is completely insane. It's completely insane. Like, even things that we take for granted, even things that we understand to be completely normal, that you wouldn't even question, are insane. Like, the idea of money is insane. The idea of working your life away to live is insane. The idea of eating all this crap that you have in fast food and sitting in a cubicle and working your life away, doing something that you probably don't like to do is insane. So this idea of what we have as a normal society is completely insane. And with this whole idea of this new normal, you're just adding on a cherry on top of something that's already pretty insane. Now, what's pretty interesting is I heard somebody say something quite fascinating, and they said that this whole pandemic, this whole lockdown, really is showing us the dark side of humanity. It's showing us that the life, this whole 9 to 5 nuclear family. And I'm not suggesting that the nuclear family is a bad idea. I think that's actually the strongest family unit. There goes my conservatism. But this whole idea of us coming back to the center of home, being around family, and really having a ton of time to discover what the heck is going on is actually showing us that the lifestyle that we were currently living was insane. Now, what they're trying to do and what they're trying to propagate through mainstream media is saying expressions like the new normal and stuff like that. I mean, I could think of a million expressions that seem to have penetrated into our cultural vernacular. I mean, I live in Ecuador now, and I've seen Ecuadorians saying this expression. It doesn't just go with English-speaking countries. This is sort of like a global phenomenon. Now, in order for you to be able to understand the importance and the significance of a meme, you have to reject that meme. If you see that meme is imprinting itself upon your subconscious mind, and you are normalizing something that is a destructive behavior, or you are normalizing something that is harmful to you and humanity, you need to bring that up in awareness and be like, why are you saying this? This is not normal. And you saying that is making it normal. And, of course, you have to be tactful about it. I'm going to make a video on the importance and the significance of tact, and how especially during these insane times, you have to be very tactful, because we are in a spiritual war. We're in an informational war. We're in the age of deception, and we are deceived. And it's the level of deception is tremendous. So you really need a strong constitution to be able to say, okay, I don't know what I don't know. I could be wrong. But I do know that there are insane levels of deception, and I need to be aware of that. So how can you fight these destructive memes? And how do memes work? Like, what are the mechanisms of a meme? This can actually go into psychology as well, because if you're a marketer, for example, and you create some kind of a meme, it could really catch on and bring a lot of attention to your company or to your product or your service. Like, I can think of the thing that comes to the top of my head, even though I wasn't born at this time, it's still part of our cultural vernacular, which is the Wendy's commercial, which was, "Where's the beef?" Like, that's kind of ridiculous, but that was this meme that got imprinted on people's minds, and my mom and people still remember that today, and I still hear that joke get cracked every once in a while. Like, and that really sticks around. So you have to be aware of how these memes come about, and there's a science to virality. Ironic enough, right? The virality of the coronavirus. But I meditated on the idea of a meme and how memes persist, and the mechanisms for making a meme, and how you can reverse that and make memes that are more uplifting. One thing that really popped into my mind that was a positive meme that I wish didn't lose so much traction was Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, because that was a funny meme, but talking about a very serious issue that needed to be addressed, and still does need to be addressed. So what are the two main factors of how a meme persists? Well, they are the relevancy and the relatability. So if something is relevant going on from a global perspective, or something that many people are understanding, and it's current and it's contemporary, then a lot of people are going to be attracted to it, and its relatability. So if you can relate to that meme, more and more people are going to want to associate, interact with that meme. So naturally, this whole idea of the new normal is highly relevant, and it's highly relatable, because this whole freaking world is on global lockdown. So naturally, that's going to have both relevancy and relatability. Now, there are other factors that include there are other factors that you need to be aware of in terms of how something can become viral, and these are the level of humor. So if it's actually pretty funny, that'll stick around. So for the example of the idea of "Where's the beef?" I guess that's kind of goofy and funny, so that kind of stuck in people's minds. So repetition is really, really, really important. And this is why you keep seeing it on the mainstream media, is they keep wanting to repeat these phrases for people to normalize in their lives. So it's repetition. Another thing is visibility. Where is this information coming from? Is it coming from some crazy, weird, fringe website and not a lot of people see it, or people that are seeing it are kind of weird and kind of fringe? Or is it in the mainstream? Are celebrities saying it? Are you seeing it on mainstream media? Are you seeing it as a trending hashtag on Twitter or Instagram, right? So this really has to do with visibility. So where is it visible? Another thing which kind of ties into the level of humor is the level of wit. So if it sounds witty, and that sort of also goes in with pithiness, if it has like a little snappiness to it, like Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, I'd say that's pretty snappy. I'd say that's pretty pithy. So these are all things that you need to consider with how memes function and how you can make your memes as well. And you also got to keep in mind that the AI, what we are essentially against a fight against AI, and this AI are the algorithms of YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and all these things, and this AI is what's determining what people see and what people don't see. So we are at a battle against AI, and so naturally they're going to push things that, there's a little bug flying around. Naturally they're going to push things that fight that are within the narrative and fight against things that are not within the narrative. And this is why it's very important to understand the anatomy of the meme and to understand how you can bring about the meme. So if somebody that's listening to this right now is a mover and shaker, you can start a meme of something and understand how these memes work and sort of get that imprinted onto the subconscious of the masses. And actually, it's really interesting. I follow this one channel about China because I'm a big China-phile. I really like Asian culture, and I find that part of the world really interesting. And this is a big YouTuber, and he started this whole concept of the idea of calling this coronavirus the CCP Buyers, which stands for the Chinese Communist Party. And that actually caught traction. I saw other artists, I saw other accounts and other artists that seemingly completely separate and disparate from this original account that started this meme saying that. And I was very surprised actually that meme had caught on. Now I'm not encouraging dissension between countries or dissension between any nationalities. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just talking about how it works in real time. So I urge anybody that's watching this that is influential and that does have a following, try to think of a meme that it falls into these points I talked about, this whole relevancy, this whole relatability, and try to kickstart that idea, to start to implant into people's minds empowering messages as opposed to disempowering messages. And I would say that this whole concept of new normal is unbelievably disempowering. You're basically normalizing a global police state. That's what you're doing. And that's not normal. And that will never be normal. It is the antithesis of freedom. It's the antithesis of being a human. So don't normalize that. So I don't mean to get on my soapbox, but really, like, this is really important. People don't understand the importance of the voice. People don't understand the importance of the repetition, and they don't understand the importance of programming the subconscious mind, because this is how your world is shaped. This is how your paradigms are shaped. This is how your reality is shaped. And there's a really great guy that I like to follow, a guy named Billy Hartbeing. He kind of just disappeared out of nowhere, but he says your words create your worlds, and that the word words and worlds has one letter difference, and that's an L, which also sort of kind of looks like an I, right? If you want to get kind of abstract. So make sure you are aware of these memes when they're trending, because they will influence you if you are not aware of them. And even if you are aware of them, they can also influence you as well. So make sure that you are doing the right thing and staying aware of how these memes are influencing your paradigm and your reality, because they will influence you, and they do have great power if used effectively and in the right way. So I want to end this video with you guys have infinite self-worth. I'm trying to make that a meme. I'm trying to make people just say that. I mean, even if they laugh about it, even if they think it's the most absurd expression ever. I've literally had people laugh and point at me when I'm wearing the shirt. I had a police officer like point and roar laughing in an airport. And I'm like, you know what? Like, if it elicited that kind of reaction, that's great. That is something that is not forgettable. And that's what I want. I want to create memes that are empowering, that are sticky, that people don't forget, right? So if I can do that and you can do that, it's really not even about you or me, it's about us. It's about the survival of humanity. And I love the humans, and I love you guys. This is why I make these videos, because I love you guys, man. I would do anything to help anybody that I can, to save humanity in the best way that I can. And I've been trying to crank these videos out left and right for inspiration, for enlightenment, for anything that I can do to help you guys. So I love you guys, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.